This morning, the man in a viral Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrest video is now speaking out for the first time. Good morning, I'm Bethany Reese. William McNeil Jr. and his attorneys are now at a local church in Ribault. Let's listen in.
Drop no suspended license. That entire stop was not just pretextual, racial motivated, it was unlawful. And everything that stemmed from that stop was unlawful. What we're not going to do this morning is get in the back and forth between the leaders of Jacksonville. What we're going to do, we're going to focus on the facts. And everybody saw the video. You can release all the body cameras you want, but the body camera, the cell phone footage was unedited. It's a reality. You can talk about a knife being in the car, but it was not a weapon because he did not weaponize it. He stayed calm. The only weapon that day was a Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. The nation saw it. Everybody saw it. And we are here for redress and get justice for the McNeil family.
Amen.
Nothing more, nothing less. William have a long road to recovery to go. I'm not going to get in his injuries. You see pictures and things online, but William attended Livingston College, band scholarship. His president is here today. So this narrative, they always have this narrative being, you know, he was a thug.
Right.
He was a criminal.
Yeah.
That's the narrative.
Yes, sir.
But William was doing everything. Come here, William. William was doing everything right.
Everything.
A college student on scholarship, doing what's required of him to be a better person. And all he did was exercise his fundamental rights, his God-given rights, to answer a simple question. Why are you stopping me?
Yeah.
For not having headlights on during the day? Did y'all see the video where the officers came with no headlights on? No windshield wiping? No smoke? No fog? No rain? So anybody would be confused, why are you stopping me?
Yes.
And he exercised their right to answer that question, and they bullied him, intimidated him, broke his window, and beat him and caused permanent injuries. Look, I'm going to step aside. We got a lot of folks up here to get a chance to speak. Here, we'll come back for a Q&A. We will have a limited Q&A with William. His parents is here. Solomon's, Latoya, and his stepfather, Alton, is here as well, wearing the red. Next, I'm going to bring up my good friend, my colleague, Attorney Ben. We home, we in Florida, so I had to bring him home. Ben Crump, come on.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Attorney Harry Daniels. I'm honored to co-counsel with you and Attorney Keefe and all of these great lawyers, Attorney Jackson and Attorney Robinson, because this is a very, very important case. As Attorney Daniels said, when William was stopped, there was no rhyme or reason, no rationale for them stopping him. I mean, this was a classic case of driving while black. And I applaud William McNeil for keeping his demeanor, his calmness. I mean, Attorney Daniels, I thought the trained police officers were supposed to be the ones to de-escalate the matter. They were the ones escalating the matter while this young man represented the best of us. He kept calm. He was trying to de-escalate the matter. He just kept asking simply, why are you stopping me? I mean, think about that. I understand the sheriff said anti-police. No. It's not anti-police when an American citizen asks, why are you stopping me? That is an American citizen exercising his constitutional rights. That's what William was doing. He was exercising his constitutional rights. And Attorney Daniels and I seek to remind America that we are a democracy, that we believe in the Constitution, and that all American citizens have a right to the protections of the Constitution, that this is not a police state where the police are above the law and that they have no accountability. No, the last time I checked, America is still a democracy, and our citizens still have a right to the Constitution. It goes without saying that the leaders now have to step up and be leaders. Look at that video. Look at that video with your own eyes. Listen with your own ears. We have audio, visual evidence, proof of what happened. Nobody has to narrate it for us. To the sheriff, respectfully, you can't justify this. You can't condone this. You have to condemn this. You have to look at that video and say, this does not reflect our training, our policies, or our values. And you need to terminate that officer immediately. Immediately. Because as Attorney Daniels and I deliberated over this matter, if you don't terminate this officer and you condone this type of police excessive force, then it sends a message to all of the other police officers on the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office team. It tells them it is okay for you to treat citizens like this. It is okay to treat black motorists like this. In America, it is not okay. It is not okay to treat our citizens like this. I know you're going to hear from his mother and father before you hear from William, but Attorney Daniels and I were astonished to hear his father, Alton Solomon, say, when I was 22 years old, the sheriff's department did a similar thing to me. They put me face down on the ground at gunpoint. And it wasn't right then, Mr. Solomon, and it wasn't right when they did it to William. It's never right to treat citizens like this. America, we're better than this. We're at a crossroads. We are a democracy. We believe in the Constitution. We are not a police state where the police can do anything they want to citizens without any accountability. We have to hold everybody accountable. That is what makes America the great beacon of hope and justice for the rest of the world to marvel. Thank you, Attorney Daniels. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Real quick, just a reminder, this is it's a culture of the Jacksonville Sheriff Office. I've represented several people down here, names such as Jamie Johnson, LaKen Wood, so y'all remember was vicious beaten by the Jacksonville Sheriff Office. And you know, the common denominator, Jamie Johnson, they stopped him for a seatbelt violation. LaKen Woods, they stopped him for a seatbelt violation. And they tried to say they stopped Mr. McNeil for a seatbelt violation, but the video showed he had his seatbelt on. Listen, next person gonna bring up Attorney Griggs and Attorney Keith real quickly to say some words. We're gonna bring in Dr. Davis, the president of Livingston College. Come on up real quick.
Attorney Gerald Griggs, G-E-R-A-L-D, G-R-I-G-G-S, and I am a civil rights attorney in Atlanta. And when I saw the video of what happened to Mr. McNeil, I was aghast. It was horrific for somebody who was simply exercising their Fourth Amendment rights to ask for a supervisor as to why he was being pulled over, and to see the video on multiple angles of him not resisting, his hands up, and for him to be punched in his face after breaking the glass, ripped out onto the floor or to the ground, and then beaten is atrocious anywhere in America. But Florida has a police brutality problem. It's had a police brutality problem for a long time. And so as a native of the state of Georgia, whose mother is from Jacksonville, I I know far too well of the brutality here in Jacksonville. And so what we are calling for is justice.
Yes.
This is not a war on police.
That's right.
This is about justice and accountability for everyone.
Amen. Amen.
So to the sheriff, if you're truly about law and order, you need to turn the law and order on that officer that brutalized Mr. McNeil. Because let's be clear, in this country, nobody's above the law. Nobody can violate the Constitution and not have consequences. And so it's incumbent upon everyone to understand that this could have been us. This could have been me. This could have been you. And but for William's calm nature, his ability to de-escalate, his ability to remain calm. So I was talking in the back and somebody reminded me of some of the heroes of the civil rights movement and how they remained calm when they suffered those brutal indignations. And that harkens back to what William did. He held his hands up. He remained calm. He took a punch without retaliating.
Yeah.
What more would you want? They say he was resisting. Resisting what? The punch to his face? How was he resisting? By putting his hands up? We all give our children the talk, and he mastered the talk. So now the ball is in law enforcement's court. What more would you have someone do other than ask and exercise their constitutional rights? This is atrocious. We need justice and accountability. We need that officer held accountable, and I'm honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with William, Attorney Ben Crump, Attorney Harry Daniels, and all of the lawyers that are behind this. But now we need America to send a message. Y'all saw the video. 20 million views. It's time for 20 million people to contact the sheriff and say you need to do something.
Jason, Keith, I would like to say a couple of things. We're not going to take a lot of your time. First of all, I'm blessed and honored to be here to assist Mr. Daniels, Mr. Crump, Mr. Greggs, Mr. Covington. I'm out of Greensboro, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and we flew in because this case is important. It represents everything we stand for. I've stood toe-to-toe with Mr. Daniels and Mr. Crump in these matters, and we just don't want them to be any more matters like this. We won't change. And I think that the most important part about this is at this stage, I think we've had a lot of conversations about Mr. McNeil and how he responded. But the question is now is how is Jacksonville, Florida going to respond? That's the question. I mean, as we look and we see our youth and we try to give an understanding of what to do in these encounters, what happens when we do all the right things and it still turns out wrong? What happens next? How do we turn the page? How do we make it to where you don't have to fly all these people in to fight for something that should have never happened in the first place? And so I would like to say a couple things. I would like to say, first, I'm honored to be here, and we are here to fight for you, and we're going to fight, and we're going to stay as long as it takes. We're flying every time we need to. I'll come back. We'll come back. But we want accountability, and we want it at all levels. And we don't want this to be a situation that's swept underneath the rug, because if not, it's going to happen to somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Keith and Attorney Griggs. It is not lost on us, as Attorney Daniels said, that William represented the best we had to offer. He had never been arrested, never been convicted of any crime. And you can see from everything that happened on the video, he was a very measured young man. And he was trained at a historically black college and university of Livingston College in North Carolina. And it exemplified the best that our children are. You know, when you think about this moment, this truly is what he exhibited was a 21st century Rosa Parks moment, where an African American had the audacity to say, I deserve equal justice under the law. I deserve to be treated like a human being with all the respect that a human being is entitled to. And we can only imagine, had he not been filming that video, what the narrative would have been. And I guess as Attorney Daniels told me, no, we know what the narrative would have been, because he said they didn't know he was filming, and so they wrote these reports that were completely contradicted by the video. And so, God knows you're going to hear from his mother and father in a minute. I can't think of what black mothers must feel when they watch that video. It's hard, if you're not a black mother, to fathom how much you have to pray every time your child leaves the house that they don't become the next hashtag. Well, he's a hashtag, and thank God he's here, because he represents the best of us. Livingston College and HBCUs around America can be proud of William McNeil Jr. Yeah. And President Anthony Davis, the president of Livingston College, who, like Attorney Daniels and I, are a great Omega man. That's right. Tell the story. Did not think it robbery to come and stand with his student to let them know that all the HBCU family stands with them. So we're going to hear from this great leader, President Anthony Davis.
The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but we have miles to go before we sleep, and miles to go before we sleep, and miles to go before we sleep. Meaning that, guess what? We have a lot of work to do. My name is Dr. Anthony J. Davis. I am the 13th president of Livingstone College, an HBCU in Salisbury, North Carolina, where Will, that is my affectionate term for him, Will, attends. A biology major who volunteers to play in the marching band. A biology major, not a music major, a biology major that volunteers to play in the marching band. A volunteer in the marching band, an academic student in biology, but also spends time on the weekends being a servant. Like Dr. King said, all of us can be great because all of us can serve. This young man will volunteer on the weekends helping young men and women who don't have the funds to get their cars repaired. He'll find a little corner with a shade tree, and he'll go ahead and he'll help students from that old hymn book, If I Can Help Somebody. Amen. As I pass along, if I could cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that they're traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. But we see in that video that his rights were violated.
Yes, they were.
You know, but he showed us restraint. He showed us a little resolve, showed us resistance.
Yes.
But you know what he's showing us today by standing here tall and strong? That he's resilient.
That part.
Which means he's going to bounce back. And so, my appeal, well, first of all, I want this family to know that the entire Blue Bear Nation stands with Will. Mm-hmm. We stand with you. Mm-hmm. And we believe in what Dr. King said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Just know this. There are consequences, and repercussions for your actions. Mm-hmm. On my campus, I haven't had a fight since I've been president in 3 years. You know why? My students know that any act of violence, there are consequences and repercussions. Mm-hmm. They know that they go home. Mm-hmm. At minimum, the sheriff who assaulted Will needs to go home. Yes, come over.
Hello, I'm Latoya Solomon. I'm Williams McNeil's mother. He's my firstborn. He's also my only son. I have 4 children. He is the only boy. I have 3 girls. The day I seen that video, I couldn't finish it past the window breaking. It wasn't until maybe a few months ago I finally finished the whole video. But I'm thankful to God for protecting him, because I know what the outcome could have been. But I believe in faith in God. It's what protected my only son, and I thank God for that.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alton Solomon, the father, stepfather, but I can't call him my stepson because this is my son.
Yes, sir.
I've been through what he's been through. To see that video made me go back to the moment when I was 22. It hurted. It made me upset. But I seen what my son did that I had to do. And he sat right, and he did right. To see that, it's a hurting feeling. To be a father that loved God first, and to see all my kids not being able to wake up in the morning and get a phone call saying your child is gone.
Wow.
That's a hurting feeling, but I thank God.
Yes.
Because God got him.
Yeah.
Y'all keep us in prayer.
William just gonna make a few remarks before we go to Q&A. And keep this family in prayer, because as his mother and father both said, they knew he could have been the next hashtag. It could have been a different result had he not kept his demeanor.
First of all, I want to thank God for bringing everybody here together, and thank y'all for supporting me. That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I knew I didn't do nothing wrong. I was really just scared. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, and that's enough, William.
Yeah.
Thank you. Justice for William McNeil.
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 We have to stand up for our children. We have to speak up for our children, and we have to fight for our children. If we don't fight for our children, nobody else is going to fight for our children. That's what Attorney Daniels, our legal team, we have vowed to fight for justice for William McNeil. And we're going to need all of y'all fighting with us. Everybody.
Somebody identify themselves and answer the question.
And so we're going to have a few questions and answers from the media. And if you could identify yourself when you ask your question from the media. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure if William
Can you identify yourself?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm with WJXC Mr. Jacks. I don't know if William can answer this or not, but I know the incident happened in February. What gave you the courage to share the video now?
Attorney Daniels.
That's a great question. William was very afraid, even after the arrest and going in for the first appearance and making a decision to take a plea that he should not have taken a plea to. He was suffering from a concussion. That should have been identified by the courts. But to answer your question, he experienced a traumatic incident where a sworn officer who taken an oath to uphold the law broke the law and beat him. So he's very afraid. He didn't know what could be the consequences or repercussions of presenting. But he, with his faith in his family and speaking with his legal team, he decided to move forward in this matter, particularly that it's not just about William McNeil. It can be somebody else tomorrow, and that's what drove him to come forward.
I would simply say this. Thank God he recorded that video. Thank God he recorded that video.
Going forward.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about all the young people should be recording these interactions with law enforcement, because what it tells us, just like with George Floyd, if we don't record the video, we can see what they put in the police report with George Floyd before they realized the video existed. Right. And now we see what they put in the police report before they realized William McNeil video existed. So everybody, make sure you keep recording all of these interactions with law enforcement.
Right here.
Elaine Quijano with CBS News. I wonder, it was said earlier, well, we all give our children talk, and he mastered the talk. William, are you able to share what you were taught growing up about police encounters, and how did that come into play in the
video? Basically, what I was taught is to, instead of fighting them on the street where we don't have power at, fight them in the courts.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
It's been talked about your composure in that moment. What was going through your mind during that time?
So there's a lot. There's a lot going through.
Right here. Right here.
Jake Snowman actually is Jack's, the sheriff has basically said if a complaint had been filed before this would have come to light earlier.
I go first. Okay, you go first.
Let's
go first.
You got it.
Yeah, you can go too.
Would they determine that the police officers were absolved any criminal?
You were never interviewed by the state attorney.
No. He was never interviewed by State Attorney Melissa Nelson's office. Never once did they talk to this young man. And I would assume they saw the body cam video from the police department, and they said, well, no problem. They saw everything that America is seeing, and they said, no problem. And that is the problem. That is the problem.
That's a great question. So in the report, it talks about force was used. The sheriff said if the force was used, that his people will review it, the body camera footage, and as such. As Attorney Crump said, that the state's attorney's office, how can you make a conclusion that there's no criminality in the face of, if a picture's worth 1,000, a video worth 10,000?
A million.
A million. But more importantly, as an ambassador of justice, that's the job of a prosecutor, to seek the truth. Did not even come and speak to the victim in the case. I know where I'm from in Georgia, Gerald, the prosecutor usually talk to the victim because they have victim rights. How can you make a determination of no criminality before you even get a chance to talk to Ms. McNeil? What I believe it was and I'm going to say it, a whitewashing. Whitewashing.
Yeah.
But for that video, we would not be here. And we thank God that Ms. McNeil had the courage to record.
And let me address the first part of your question about why he didn't make an internal complaint. You watch that video. What is alarming to me is that there are several officers on the scene. And they seem like it was business as usual.
It is. Jacksonville.
And so, how can you trust a system like that to say, oh, who are you going to report the police to? the police? That's why we believe you need an independent investigation separate from the state attorney's office here in Jacksonville, Florida. We do not believe that is an independent investigation. I know several citizens have said they believe a conflict of interest is arises with the state attorney and the sheriff's office in Jacksonville. A person who is unbiased looking at this video sees William as a victim. Unfortunately and apparently, the state attorney or the sheriff's department never saw William as a victim.
Yep.
They only saw him as a perpetrator, a criminal, the worst that they would define a person. But we saw the best in William. We see the best in our children, just like you see the best in your children. This is about driving while black. We don't believe they ever would have done that had this been a young white citizen.
Go ahead.
I have a couple questions.
Who are you?
My name is Will Brown. I work for Jacksonville today.
Okay.
First, as someone who's named William, do you prefer Will or William?
Yeah.
Will? Okay. Secondly, Mr. McNeil, when you immediately requested a supervisor, what was it that had you feel uncomfortable to the point of immediately saying, I would like a supervisor? Was there something about the officer's conduct or the way that the stop happened that immediately led you to say, I would like a supervisor?
So one thing that the sheriff released some videos, and according to William, there's another video, another officer's there. They didn't release this video. Officer had him at gunpoint. So now you're at gunpoint, and they're telling you for not having headlights on, you better answer for a supervisor.
So the request, the gunpoint, you were at gunpoint?
Not initially, okay. But he was continuing to request for us. It was off the camera. You couldn't see it. According to William, he was being held at gunpoint by one of these officers. So the fact remains that this video shows what happened from the initial assault, and the body camera showed the initial interaction. But at the same time, what's your name?
Will.
Will, what we're talking about is somebody getting pulled over for not having headlights on during the day. That's suspicious within itself. You know, I've been black my whole 44 years. You know, if somebody's telling me they pulling me over for not having headlights on and it's day outside and no rain and anything, I'm concerned. What are you really pulling me over for? Can you bring your supervisor to the scene? And that was his response. Over right here, your media?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Wanda P. with Hot 106.5 Radio,
okay.
A Cox Media Group station. Action News Jax is our news partner. Can I ask a follow-up to what Will was asking? Have you all identified who that officer was that held them at gunpoint? And then my actual question is about William's recovery. What is it that he's recovering from his injuries, if you can answer?
Yeah, at this point, we think it's more appropriate that the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department identify the officers. We don't want to speculate. If they're proud of the conduct on the video, then they should release the officers' names. I'm going to have Attorney Daniels talk about William's recovery and the symptoms that he experienced. I mean, this was a horrific, brutal encounter. Did y'all see where they was knocking his head against the concrete while he was in handcuffs?
So, you know, not to go too much into it, William actually suffered permanent injuries. You can see he had a fractured tooth. His tooth actually went through his lip where he had to endure stitches and closed head injury. He was concussed, and he's still on evaluation from doctors at this time. Dr. Davis knows William as a president of Livingstone Colleges, and he can see the cognitive decline. So this is a long recovery for him. These are things that we are ensured that he get the help that he need, so he can get back on track. All right.
Yeah. Let me say this on that there, if you could, and I don't want you to say anything here. Let William just stand, because I noticed this morning. His teeth was actually broke when you still sit there. Could you just, I mean, this was a violent encounter. His tooth went into his lip and he had stitches all on his lips. I mean, this is not good policing. Nobody can say this is good policing.
And it wasn't just one officer. When William was on the ground, it was multiple officers hitting him, putting his head into the concrete. So one officer may have been suspended or take police powers away from him, but there's more to come. Right here, it's somebody in the back over here. Right here, I got you.
Hi, Bradley Phillips with First Coast News. Were you hit in the face outside of the car?
Yeah. I mean, the video is clear. He was punched in the face. I mean, outside the car. It's clear that he's punched in the face outside the car.
Yeah. And that's good. We invite the media, just like they did with George Floyd, it is good to slow down the video and go frame by frame and count the excessive use of force incidents on this young man who only crime allegedly was he didn't have his headlights on and he didn't have his seatbelt on. Things that most people would get a notice to appear. He got punches in his face, head beat against the concrete, and a gun drawn on him. Right. That is excessive in the most kind way of expressing it. That is excessive force 101.
Yeah, to answer the question, absolutely, he was hit outside the car. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I work for the Florida Times Union. So, as far as I know, there's not a legal action pending on this. No new charges against William. No lawsuit filed. You guys are attorneys. Attorney practice through the courts. What do you have coming?
We're civil rights attorneys, and we plan to explore every possible legal remedy to get some measure of justice for William McNeil Jr. Every possible legal remedy. If this was your child, we're going to do everything that you would want done if this was your child.
That's all right.
In addition to recovering William from the physical injuries, how else are you doing beyond just
You know, I'm going to refrain from William from answering that question. I think that, like I said, he's still under care of a doctor. Obviously, he's under care of a physician. He still has some issues going on. Like I said, it was our hope and prayer that he able to make a full recovery, but he's still trying to come back. Any other questions?
And just let me say this while we get ready to take the last question. Really, we want you all to think about if this was your child. That's right. Black and white alike. We want you to think about if this was your son, young son doing everything right. And I know some of you all can't fathom the police stopping your child for driving without headlights in broad daylight. We think it's pretextual. We think it's racial profiling. But I want you to try to put yourself in our shoes. Try to put yourself in William's shoes just for a second. The police stop you and tell you, you say, why are you stopping me? And they say, well, you don't have your headlights on and it's raining. And you look and you're like, there's no rain. Why are you stopping me? And all he does, while I say it's a Rosa Parks 21st century moment, he as a black person says, you know, I'm tired of it. I'm going to try to demand my constitutional rights. That's the only thing that William McNeil did. And that's the only thing you would want your children to do. To say, as a citizen, don't I have the right to know why you're violating my Fourth Amendment rights against search and seizure unlawfully? That's it. Nothing more. So search your hearts, America. If this was your child, wouldn't you be proud that William kept his calmness in his demeanor and de-escalated it. And let that govern you when you call on the sheriff to hold these police officers accountable. Because that's what we have to get here. We have to have accountability. Attorney Daniels, is there anything else?
Got one more question up in the front.
So this question is for Mr. McNeil or for Mr. and Mrs. Sterling. Will has now gone. This video has been seen worldwide. What is something you would like the world to know about your son or Will about yourself that they don't know, but you think that they should know?
Could you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
What is something you would like the world to know about your son that they do not know, but you believe they should know? We should know.
Just that he is a really, really good man of God. He's a mentor of all the children in the neighborhood. He's a self-taught musician in our church. I'm sorry? What'd you ask me? Oh, he plays the trombone. He taught himself how to play the keyboard. He also taught himself how to play the drums. So he's a really good son.
He has a scholarship last year, right? He's on scholarship lip song. He's a biology major. He volunteers in the bed. And yes, he did get a scholarship.
As Dr. Davis, he's a biology major. I went to school at the University of Maryland, and the biology people was pretty smart. Biology major at Livingstone College, and he volunteered in the band. He's in marching band. So this is a great kid. He mentored the people. This is like Ben said, he's one of the best. And even in the face of the best, you still spring the worst in law enforcement. Still see the worst in law enforcement. You want to close us out? In prayer. Thank you, guys. It'll be more to come. We will keep y'all up to date through our releases. So let's stand by.
Well, you just heard from Willie McNeil, his parents, and his attorneys here as they talk about that viral incident involving JSO officers. The attorneys that you saw speak included well-known Harry Daniels, Ben Crump.